Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to use our virtual color mixer. You learned all about color theory and how to create colors. Today we are going to practice virtually mixing colors on our color wheel. So for your assignment, you have to do the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. The three secondary colors, violet, green, orange, and then one tertiary color of your choice. Insert the name here of the one you chose, a tint of one of the primary colors, a shade, and a tone. So I'm going to be going through some of the steps in how to use our virtual color mixer. So I'm going to start with the primary colors. So you'll see on the color mixer that it has these different hues down here. So I'm going to start with yellow. I'm going to pick just kind of like a Crayola crayon box yellow, and I'm going to click the color. And the name will pop up here. And then my next step is to click on one of these empty paint tubes, and it will fill that paint tube with the yellow that I picked. Now to add it to my swatch over here, I'm going to click the plus button, and it's going to add one part of that yellow. So for me, this is just my yellow primary color, and I don't need to do anything else to it. So I would take a screenshot of this section down here. We need to be able to see your swatch and your paint ratios with all the different parts and portions. So make sure that you are using a device that you can screenshot on and then insert into this template over here. So a couple of other things about mixing colors. I'm going to go ahead and mix up orange and show you that and talk about a couple of important things. So I'm going to pick just, again, like a crayon box red. We don't want one that's too pink or too orange like this one. So just a very basic looking red. So I clicked it, name popped up here. I'm going to click on my paint tube down here. And I'm going to add a little bit of red to this mixture. And now that basically still looks really red, and that's because red is a really intense, really dark valued color. So we're gonna need a lot more yellow to make it look like our orange over here on the color wheel. We're getting closer. It still looks like it's maybe a step between these two. So you're gonna have to play around a lot with the ratios of your colors. Give it a couple more. And figure out how much of each color you need to mix to get something that matches pretty closely to our color wheel over here. So I would take a screenshot of this and then move on to my next color. To empty your paint, you can either exit or just bring it all the way down to 0. And I'm actually going to X this. So for your primary colors, you're going to mix those. For your secondary colors, you need to use your primary colors to mix those. So I know that there's this green category over here, but nobody is using any of these colors from here. For you to make green, I want for you to use blue and yellow. Okay, so we are using red, yellow, and blue to mix every other color on our color wheel. Now, for your tint and your shade and your tone, I'm going to pick my basic red again. And then I'm going to go over here and fill some of my paint tubes with black and white. So for my red, my tint, we know for tints we add white. So I'm going to add a lot of white. And it turns pink. So I would screenshot this for my tint and add it into my template. I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and then I'm going to add black to my red to create a shade, and that still looks very black, so I need to add a lot more red to it so that way it becomes just a darker red. And it should look kind of crimson. And that's pretty good. So I would screenshot that and put it in my slides. You can also type numerically in here. Sometimes it likes it, sometimes it doesn't. That time it was okay with it. So for my tone, we know we add the complement. So looking at my color wheel, red, the complement of red is green. So I am going to do this a little bit backwards. I'm going to find a blue, fill a paint tube with it, find a yellow, fill my paint tube with it. I'm going to start with green first, so I'm going to make blue, and then I'm going to make some green. Ooh, that's a little bit too light. That's a yellow green. Bring it down a little bit. We need like a nice Westfield green. That's pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to add red to it until it looks like it's just a dull red like that. It should not look like a dull green, but it should look like a dull red. That's what a tone is. So make sure that your tone looks more like your color that you started with than the color that you added to it. So this would be my tone for red. So that's how we use the color mixer. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but you will be using that for your virtual color mixing activity.